Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Michael. I work with C&H Precision here in Richmond Hill, Georgia. We're here with one of our sponsored shooters, Jace. We just had a little bit of a range day. Got to do a lot of first things for him. Let him talk about that a little bit.
So yeah, we shot a couple full auto guns, which was my first time actually doing it. The full auto Glock was definitely a new experience for me. Way different than a rifle since you don't have as much control at all. You really got to focus on really pushing it down and really making sure that it's not going up.
It's not like your normal competition guns. You were telling me you've been shooting for a long time. You first started shooting non-competitively. You were young, right? How old did you say you were?
Yeah, I was about 3 or 4 years old. Me and my parents would just go to the range every once in a great while just to get me used to guns, being around guns, and not being scared of them or anything.
Yeah. Just getting the initial safety stuff covered, shooting 22s like everybody does.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about the same way I started, same way we start our kids, so that makes a lot of sense. What are you shooting now?
So now my main competition gun is a Glock 34 MOS, and I shoot that for just about everything, not only for the GSF matches, but USPSA, World Steel, USPSA, anything get my hands on, really.
Yeah, so the 34, that's kind of like your favorite. You don't shoot the 17 or the 19 much? 34 is kind of the bread and butter?
For me, it is. Since I used to do archery at the national level, I always liked having the bigger, heavier bows, so shooting the 34 over the 17, I know it's not a huge difference, but still that little weight in the front I like.
Yeah, absolutely. That extra little bit of barrel doesn't hurt.
That too.
You're shooting our Comp Max now, right? You just shot that in Florida this weekend.
I did.
Shot pretty well for you?
It worked great for me. I love the big open window. I'm excited to use it for USPSA matches where I'm actually going to be using the window and everything and moving from target to target.
Absolutely. We're super excited about that one. That's one of our newest offerings we just brought to market at SHOT Show, so I think it's going to be a big hit for everybody. I think everybody will really like that dot. So you started shooting early. You started going over all the fundamentals and everything. When did you actually start shooting competitively?
I started shooting competitively in 2022. Just started off with some local matches and working my way up, just seeing how I stacked up against people nearby, and then trying to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, so you're traveling a lot now.
Really started competitions at 15 years old, and then just kind of slowly worked my way up to not leaving Ohio for pistol matches, and now have competed in 19 different states.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. What's been your most groundbreaking moment where you felt like you really made leaps and strides and became a better shooter? Is there anything special that you think you did, or did you take any courses or anything?
For the 2023 GSF match in Talladega, their national one, their biggest one of the year, I kind of went into that event kind of just wanting to shoot it for fun, I guess, and just see where I stacked up. And I ended up winning the amateur civilian class first out of 134.
That's pretty good.
And I wasn't expecting that at all. And after that, it kind of put me in a different headspace, thinking that I'm actually a better shot than I really thought I was.
You're competitive in this.
Thinking now show me that I'm really competitive in this sport, and that's kind of what kind of pushed me to excel more, do bigger matches, kind of use the GSF stuff as stepping stones into a lot more of the big national events.
So after that match, and you felt like you had that groundbreaking moment of like, wow, I'm doing really well here, I'm placing well, I'm shooting well. How do you maintain that? What's your training schedule kind of look like? Do you shoot once a week, once a month?
So I shoot anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
It really just depends on my schedule. And then also if I can't go to the range in the week, I use my laser ammo training aid.
Okay.
With the smokeless range, because with that I step on a screen, but I can do like any different setup I want. So I can shoot USPSA stuff, I can shoot Steel Challenge, I can make my own thing, I can shoot like game stuff, but just being able to have the muscle memory of shooting, the trigger pull, just doing stuff like that, and then just having the sight picture as well, doing that really keeps me moving and trying to push myself forward.
When did you and C&H get together? When did C&H, did you reach out? Did we reach out? How did that kind of relationship develop?
So it was actually at the 2023 GSF Talladega shoot. They had a booth set up there, and I had seen their optic, and I was like, you know what, let me go talk to them, because I didn't really have an optics partner at the time, and that's when I was trying to push myself out there more, try to get on people's radars and everything. So I just talked to them, and was looking at their optics, and it was when the comp was out, and I was telling them how I liked the wider view, and we ended up exchanging contacts, got together, and I actually left that event with a red dot, the comp red dot, and a red dot plate.
Nice, awesome. So for your gear setup, so you're mostly doing just pistol matches right now. Yes. I know you're branching out a little bit into PCC. We talked a little bit about shotgun, but pistol's kind of the primary right now.
Right.
How do you set up like your gear? What's your belt setup looking like?
So right now I'm using Ghost holsters. So their new Hydra P Plus holster. I'm just starting to use that right now. So what I like about that holster is that it's a Carry Optics holster.
Okay.
But it has a cutout on the inner side by like your thigh and everything, because I'm now starting to shoot a thumb pedal, a gas pedal,
yeah,
I'm gonna call it. And with that, I'm able to still shoot Carry Optics, but I also have that opening for that.
Have the holster that's compatible with it. Yeah, that's awesome. I know those gas pedals, they can be massive sometimes, so you got to figure out a way to get those in. Yep.
And then I run 4 magazine holsters with 1 magnet one, so fast reloads.
Okay.
And it took me a little while to get everything set up the way I wanted to, because I have a smaller waist, so trying to fit everything close together was a little challenging. But I've been running their stuff for 3 years now, never had an issue with it.
Is there any other things that you kind of do outside of shooting that people wish they knew more about, or that you wish people knew more about?
So actually, from 3 to about 12 years old, I raced motocross.
Okay.
And it was a big kids thing when I did it. I just think it'd be, and it's kind of been slowing down a little bit for kids lately. Some local tracks have been shutting down, but I just think it'd be cool for more people to see motocross, because some kids I've talked to, they enjoy it, and then there's some kids I've talked to who think it's this big dangerous sport, which yes, you can get hurt by doing it, but it's also still just something fun and enjoyable to do to get your mind off other things.
Yeah, that's most things, yeah. So what are your pre-competition rituals? What do you like to do before you shoot a match?
So I've kind of given a little bit of thought to that. The only things I do for competitions, or I have to do at every match, is every match I have to start off with the same playlist for music. I don't change it up really. I always start off the same playlist, and if something else plays after that, it's fine, but I always start off the first stage as the same playlist playing.
What are you listening to? What's first up?
I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head what's first up. It's a mixture between some rap, some country. It's a pretty big mixture of a playlist, but I don't know, I always start off with it.
Pretty well rounded. I kind of do the same thing. I stop at the gas station in the morning, I'll get a fresh drink, cold water or Red Bull, and I'll just ride all the way and listen to music. Same thing, country, rap, all that. You gotta get in the right headspace. That usually helps a lot of people do that.
Right.
And how have the C&H products that you've been using help benefit your shooting?
So with C&H red dots I compete with, I noticed a really big jump in scores after shooting with them. I know just changing red dots from red dot to red dot isn't gonna always help you shoot better, but when you're going from a red dot that has squiggly lines of the dot and just jumps around all the time to a red dot that's an actual dot and it's pretty steady in the housing, it's a dramatic change from what I was used to, and that really helped me start shooting better. Yeah,
super crisp reticles. So this is another one that a lot of people I know argue about. Do you like the single dot or do you like the circular dot?
So I just started shooting the circular dot when I got the Comp Max. So I have a little bit of experience with it, but I think for trying to shoot fast, I think that I like the singular dot a little bit better.
I think I agree with you, yeah.
But I think I needed to shoot the Comp Max a little bit more just to see what I think about it. But overall, yeah, I might say a single dot, I like it better.
So in my opinion, I think that like the larger circular dot is maybe easier to track, but that's if you have like a bad habit possibly of losing your dot in your window during transitions or something like that. So if you start with that and then you eventually cut it down to just a single dot, that's when you start picking up your speed and actually developing the skills.
Right. So some advice I would give to newer or younger shooters would be don't be scared of the bigger events, because when I first started out and I was doing local stuff, I started getting good at the local clubs and the people there started kind of recognizing me a little bit, and I was kind of nervous going to bigger events because I was like, hey, I'm doing really well at these local ones. You know, I don't want to mess up that streak and be at the bottom of the leaderboard now. But you're never gonna do them if you don't try them. That's one of the biggest things. And you know, you might not think you're ready for it, but you're never gonna be ready. You're ever gonna be ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So. You got to bite the bullet. You got to go out there and you got to shoot with the guys that are better than you. You know, if you want to develop skills, they're the ones that are going to give you the pointers and those little tricks where it's like, okay, I'm making up tenths of seconds per stage now, and it's determining my place, you know, by 10x.
Right, because you know the guys that are there that are really good, not all of them are just there to shoot good. Some of them are there to help you. Because I've been to multiple events where the older guys who shoot well, who have a lot of tips and tricks and knowledge about the shooting sports, they're the ones that help you.
A lot of this stuff too, oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. That's how I've really learned a lot, was them giving me pointers and, you know, helping me make up those little mistakes or just helping me to shoot faster in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, one of the biggest things I took away, because I've only been shooting matches for about 2-3 years now, so I kind of started late. Stage planning, like how important stage planning is, right? Making sure you've got all your mags loaded to capacity for the stage, making sure you're going through and finding your route, making sure you've got good angles on everything. And then there's a lot of like shortcuts and little tricks, you know, things that you don't even realize. Like if you have fault lines, you have to shoot from the fault lines, but you don't only have to travel in the fault lines. You can jump in and out of them as long as you're firing from there.
Right.
So it's little things like that where it's like, oh, hey, we have a wall here that you have to go to an extreme angle to shoot off of. Or you go around it and go to another fault line.
So that's why I like USPSA over just standstill matches. I really like the whole stage training thing because you really get into your head and you have to plan out everything really meticulously. Because some of the stages, you know, you only have the certain number of rounds, so you're like, I can't miss here. I should reload right here. That's what I really enjoy about them. And then also learning the different rules and everything where you can run out of the fault lines to a different fault line and different stuff like that. It really gets you thinking. Yeah,
I know one of the early things I struggled with was just not shooting to slide lock, right? So making sure that I had enough mags to complete the course of fire and making sure that I was kind of reloading in between targets, right? So if like there was a position that I was going to shoot, and if I was going to move, all right, I just shot 9 rounds. I probably want to go ahead and reload because I've got 20 more to shoot.
Right.
So just kind of staying fresh,
yeah,
making sure.
That was one of my big things. I was planning the stage out to shoot it one way, and then I would shoot it a whole completely different way.
Once that beep goes off, it's like, oh, I don't remember what I'm doing anymore.
Right, exactly. So my reloads would all be messed up, but it's just a whole learning curve.
Yeah. What's 2025 looking like?
2025 is a lot of nationals, doing one GSF match a month, and then basically as many USPSA Steel Challenge World Steel events as I can. Basically, my goals are to be, depending on the people at the events, try to put myself in the top of the leaderboard. You know, not win every event. I know I still have a lot to work up to that, but be competitive at these events, not just be putting around, I guess, but basically do the best I can. Make sure I don't make any stupid little mistakes, but just do what I know I can do. Don't push myself too hard. Don't push myself too little. Well,
it was awesome having you out here today. I'm glad we got to shoot all sorts of guns and have a good time. A lot of cool guns.
It was a great time.
You shot them all really well, so we're excited to watch you keep growing, and we're excited to grow with you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Good to meet you.